listen to this. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna be so awesome. You ready to hear this, dude? Because it's gonna be awesome. So, okay, the girl walks in. You go from her legs up to her skirt till you see her nice, juicy, tremendous melon breast. Yeah, I know, dude. It's epic, right? Like, we're gonna change everything. Wait, oh man, I gotta close the door. You can never be too careful these days. So, like, yeah, dude, like that melon part is gonna change everything. I thought about that all night last night, man. It's gonna be freaking amazing. We're gonna get so many chicks. We're gonna get so a lot of money. You know, again, money, 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 make the world go around. It's gonna be stupendous, man. Oh yeah, dude, we gotta incorporate that word in the next line of dialogue. Okay, because a buddy of mine, Brent, actually taught me that word. Freaking stupendous, man. That's gonna get all the. So we're gonna get all these. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I just had Taco Bell. I had the triple deluxe supreme. And it's really kicking my ass right now, and I got. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Bye. Damn Taco Bell, damn coming. Okay. Can't even concentrate, dude. God, Ronnie. God. Oh! Golly, this is the last time I'm gonna have Taco Bell. Holy shit! No, I forgot to turn on the fan. Oh, thank goodness I'm the only person in here. Oh my gosh, this is the last time I'm eating Taco Bell. Oh God, I thought the meat was supposed to be real. Oh my God, oh, it's so bad in here. Oh, God. Whew, I think the worst is over. I can finally get. Where's the toilet paper? I just bought some a couple of days ago. Where's the toilet paper? Who the hell are you? Oh, what the hell? What are you doing? I'm taking a shit. God, no, stop. 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 No, stop. Don't. Stop. Tremendous. Tumultuous, round, melon breasts.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We're up for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Brett Man's over there, and can you believe it? We're on week 7 of the HalloScream Review Series, man. Today, week 7, dude. Today we're doing Halloween H20, returning to the Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode storyline after.
Hold on. So pretty much we got to the part of the franchise now we're going to be reviewing about Halloween Water.
Yeah, it came out about. I mean, really, this was kind of the competition of Waterworld.
Like between Water Boy and H2O.
Waterworld, Waterboy, and H2O. All three of those came out around the same time. The 90s were a really big time for water. People really liked it. And yeah, this is the one where Halloween
Go surfing.
Yeah, we should have. I just had this thought we should have went to the damn beach for our skit for this one, man, or something weird. We should have had a freaking Waterland set up, but the budget didn't allow it.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I can imagine Michael on a surfboard. Hell yeah.
You know, it does. This actually does have a lot of the Deep Blue Sea they could have had Michael down there. LL Cool J was in both movies. They could have had Michael down there with all the sharks and shit. Okay, we're getting way off track for the intro. Anyway, we're here for Halloween H20. Jamie Lee Curtis is back, baby. Laurie Strode is back. We found out. We'll get into that here in a minute. But either way, we're back to the Jamie Lee Curtis side of things. And it's 20 years after Halloween, 1978. And it's going to be a fun one to talk about, man. This one's pretty divisive. I think a lot of people really like it. A lot of people don't. I'm somewhere kind of in the middle, and I'm excited to talk about it, man.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on it, and I've kind of told Braden before we did this review. So, Braden, please, I understand. We know you love it. I know Matt Fauci loves it, but Braden, please don't give us a thumbs down, because come on, we're your boys. We're your boys. We're your pals. We're your amigos. We love you, man. Braden Timmons, baby. But we totally understand. But hopefully you can forgive us one day. But yeah, I'm ready to freaking get into it. But before we even get to it, let me freaking pull up this bad boy.
Yeah, speaking of Braden Timmons and Matt Fauci, they're both going to be doing reviews. Well, Matt's going to be doing a cool ranking. Braden's going to be doing a review. It's all about the HalloScream Review Series right now, man. The biggest freaking party in the history of Halloween YouTube history. We're joined by those two people. We're joined by Dark Ether Files Podcast, Mega Movie Z, Bacon Pew Pew, Jeff Man 316, Camp Blood Media. All those reviews are going to be in our description here today, or links to their channel if the reviews aren't out yet. So check those out today as well. A lot of Halloween content. Chris Snyder is going to be doing his Letterboxd review for Halloween H20 today as well. So check that out. Man, we've had a blast so far. It's been so much fun. And I just, I cannot believe we're already 7 weeks in, but it's nice to kind of get to this point. The last couple of movies have not, 5 and 6. We're back into at least some good territory here, somewhat here. So at least for a minute, and
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. But before anything, before we freaking get into this bad boy, let's freaking check out the Michael Myers card and the freaking movie facts. So let's freaking do this.
Gander me.
All right, let me get a deep breath real quick. H2O came out on August the 5th of 1998. What the hell? Okay, I already got a problem with this already. Why don't freaking Halloween movies come out in October? But anyways, this movie on the IMDb got a 5.8 out of 10. That's actually a pretty decent score. 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd, with most of the votes coming in at 3 out of 5. The tomato meter, 52%, the audience of 49. We totally understand that it's not. Those are rotten numbers, but again, we love the Halloween franchise, so we keep those particular logos on there to cover my mess up. But the budget is $17 million, with the domestic box office of $55 million. Again, still, Halloween franchise has not gone global yet, so $55 million on that. Director, to everybody's surprisement, especially me included, of Steve Miner. Freaking crazy how he's freaking directing a Halloween movie after doing a Friday the 13th movie. And the cast is Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh Hartnett making his debut into the cinematic world, and of course, money, make the good world go round with LL Cool J.
Hell yeah, dude. You ate my bird. Oh, man. He was a freaking legend around the late 90s with Deep Blue Sea and shit. And now he's here. Josh Hartnett with his fucking, it's crazy that, he's got such bad hair, yet hair is in his fucking name. This guy needs to go away and comb his hair. I saw him in a movie recently. What was that? It's that one with Jason Statham, Wrath of Man. He's still out there. But anyway, nice budget this time around. Tomato meter. This is one of the highest rated Halloween movies in the tomato score. I think it might be the highest up until when 2018 came out. The second highest, of course, not Halloween 78 is the highest. So it's definitely in the top 5 on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience, I'm actually a little bit surprised the audience score is a little bit low. I get it. I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but I'm surprised the general audience is a little bit higher. Because it's not a poorly made movie by any means. I don't like a lot of the things they did with Michael and stuff, which we'll get into.
Yeah. And they kind of the comparison of what it tried to do to compete with what we call Scream.
Right. Yes.
We'll get into that more to that particular discussion, because I do have my thoughts on that. But anything else, Brad, from the movie facts?
No, man, that's it.
All right, let's freaking talk about freaking Michael Myers, man, from H2O. Only one actor in this, and that is Chris Duran, which that's crazy to me that Chris Duran is playing 3 different Michael Myers in this movie. And the reason I made that kind of reference is because we get 3 damn fucking awful mask. That's just, I will talk about that here later on too. But Chris Duran, nevertheless, got 6 kills, which we kind of go back to those 78 roots with least amount of kills, but they are still entertaining nonetheless. How did he kill his victims? With an ice skate, a butcher knife, a corkscrew. Damn it, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew? And then a dumb waiter door.
Oh, dude, we're not going to count the. Well, I guess Jamie Lee technically killed the paramedic. So,
But that, she ain't no Michael Myers, but she freaking did that. Hey, better act swing.
Man, that's a dope picture though in the back. Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah,
Chris
we'll
Duran.
talk about that shot in particular here too.
Yeah, Chris Duran, honestly, like he's a cool dude. He really is. I think he's in Killer Flicks, if I'm not mistaken. Like he likes the fans. I don't like this version of Michael very much at all. I think he's a little bit I don't know. A lot of it has to do with the mask. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the mask, but the walk's a little bit off for me too. But again, it's he does a lot of things well, but there's just some things that stand out that I don't like that he about this version of Michael. So
no, I agree with you on that too. So that is our Michael Myers card. And if you're new to the HalloScream with your boys at the Good Real Hunting, here is how we're going to be doing this bad boy. We are going to talk about this movie in chronological order from beginning to end. And as we go through the story, we will let you know what we liked and what we didn't like about it. And towards after the end of all that, we will give you our WTF moment and we'll give you our top kill. And then after that, we'll give you our overall thoughts and a movie rating. And that's how we'll be freaking doing this bad boys. So this is 20 years in the making. Well, movie wise. So let's freaking talk about H2O, Brad. Let's do it.
Yes. So this thing starts out actually with something I love. The opening of this movie is really my favorite. One of my favorite parts about this movie.
It starts loud knife.
Yeah, right. The loud knife. But Mr. Sandman's playing. Yeah. It's like it's an immediate connection to Halloween 2, 1981. Which is awesome because I love Halloween 2, 1981. I absolutely do. And this just completely like connects to it. So already right off the bat, just with Mr. Sandman playing alone and going through this street with all these Halloween decor and stuff, already this feels more connected to the first 2 movies than the last several. Yeah, since Halloween 2. Halloween 4, as good as it is, it doesn't feel connected really to the first 2 movies.
It's cheaply connected.
Right. Yeah, it is very cheaply connected. 5 and 6 feel like a completely different franchise. It feels nothing the same at all.
Fuck those movies. But anyways.
Yes. Hey, 6 is a good time though. But
I know. Well, partially, but yeah, yes. Anyways.
But yeah, so we get that. I love that. I think that's fantastic. We get the sequence. We meet Nurse Chambers, who again already connecting back to those first 2 movies. She comes in, she sees that her house has been broken into, and then she goes next door, and we get the introduction of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Dude, this is his intro into the film.
Man, freaking world. Boy wonder, man. Or in the movie with Scarlett Johansson about porn. But anyways, that's way into the future. We're talking about little freaking dude there. So yeah, dude, that was a great surprise. Like learning that like later on in life, like after like the 3rd viewing, I'm like, dude, I recognized that boy before.
Yeah, for sure. So like that, he and this other dude play freaking Nurse Chambers' next door neighbors. So she's like, okay, they broke in. She goes next door to call the police on their phone, and she's over there. They call the police, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, dude, I'm going to go ahead and check your house out. I'm going to scope it out for bad guys. He brings his hockey stick in there. He said, I've been getting suspended for getting in trouble too many times for the stick or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he says. He goes in there, he steals some beer, he comes back out. What I do want to know is where the fuck the cops are at, because they called, and then he's been in there. He went through the whole house stealing beer. It's nighttime now. It was daytime earlier. Now it's nighttime. Cops still haven't showed up. But anyway, he checks out the house. She thinks it's good, so she goes back in there. And a couple sequences in the movie I really like are right here when she goes back in the house and Michael's in the background. Yeah. It kind of takes us back to 78, right? Where he's kind of in the background, doors are swinging open. He's way back and kind of in the distance, and I really like those shots in this movie. Some of the best Halloween vibes that we get throughout this whole flick.
Yeah, I especially love the shots of Michael at the beginning because for the main reasons, he looks awful. But at these particular shots, we really don't get a good look at him, and I feel like that's what Michael does best. Is we don't get that clear vision. We kind of put that vision in our minds of what he looks like, and he works best in the freaking shadows. So yeah, I do love the opening stuff with Michael, like picture wise.
Yeah, so she gets creeped out over in her house, so she runs next door back to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's house. She finds out he's got a freaking skate in the face now, an ice skate in the face, hence the ice skate kill that we talked about a
He
minute
should be
ago.
wearing that freaking Jason Voorhees mask.
He should. Now she's freaking out. Michael's in that house. Her and Michael kind of duke it out for a minute. It's a nice duke session, but Michael ends up winning. Whilst the cops pull up next door to her house, which was broken into, and these mofo's, despite being 3.5 hours late, they're running lights and sirens to this burglary call. And I don't know why. Haddonfield, they might not be in Haddonfield actually, but they're running. It seems like a small town, and they're showing up with lights and sirens on. Yet it took them 3 hours to get there.
I figured it out.
What's up?
They have to drive slow because back in '78 they did hit this boy named Ben Tramer going 65 miles an hour, so they probably had to go like 25 miles an hour, part of their new Haddonfield traffic laws.
Yeah, you're probably right, because these mofo's, like, they're going. They got the sense of urgency, but they, like, literally, like, it's like, hey, I don't know. It took them so long to get there.
Plus they're deaf because they didn't freaking hear the crash of the window at the next door. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
I know that it happens. So then the cops are there. Now we do find out while Marion was in her own house earlier that there's a file in her office with Laurie Strode and all the papers are missing, and there's a picture of Sam Loomis in there. Presumably he's been living there, hanging out with her up until this point. Now, what I do like again about this opening is Marion dies. The cops are next door. As the cops find out that house next door was broken into too, and they're about to discover the bodies, Michael's car can be seen leaving, which is actually, I guess, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's car. But in general, what I like, the beginning of this movie actually has the Halloween 6 mask on Michael, at least when he's next door. And I think they should have kept it because it looked badass. Yeah. This was definitely the best mask of the movie. Now, they did not keep this mask for the movie because they did not want to connect to Halloween 6 at the end of the day. They were like, you know what? Originally, they were going to try to keep those in continuity, and there's a few things coming up that kind of explain that. But at the end of the day, I think this movie was kind of rushed. So they filmed the scenes with the H6 mask, and then they're like, now, wait a minute, hold on. We don't want to connect to that movie, so let's change the mask up and do something else. But that looked pretty fucking good at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to mention the Marion Chambers stuff because let me go ahead and tell you something. H2O actually does that better for Halloween Kills. So
that's true.
That's how you freaking do it, because at least she put up somewhat of a little bit of a fight, even though kind of way it's just like, come on, Marion Chambers really can fight with Michael Myers, but at least they gave her a chance to do something. They didn't give her a corny line or anything like that. So thank you, H2O, for at least representing Marion Chambers to the death.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was good. Now, granted, she was 20 years younger then, but she put up a fight, and I did like that version of her, that little cameo that she had. Now we cut to this intro here at this point where the cops are coming in her house the next day, and they're looking at Loomis's shrine or whatever. They're saying, Loomis is dead. This guy, they never found his body after 1981, connecting it directly to 81. And then we have this kind of intro with a voiceover, not Donald Pleasance, but it's a Dr. Loomis voiceover, which was pretty good actually. We get this new Halloween score, which I fucking hate. The score that plays, it's got these weird ass. It's not a good version of that.
It's what we call the '90s horror movie remix.
Exactly. Again, already kind of starting to feel like that Scream score that we get throughout most of this movie. So, but we get that. We get this dumbass fucking cop that comes in there, and he said, "What are you saying? We never found his body. We should be looking for somebody with Alzheimer's or something like that. Is he on a cane and a walker?" This dude's 40. Michael's 40 at this point, and he said, 41 to be exact. And he's like, he's probably got Alzheimer's by now. No, dude, he's 41 years fucking old. He's younger than you are. So that was dumb. But yeah, they go into this intro, kind of just catching everybody up to speed. Laurie Strode faked her own death in a car accident, which again was when they were starting to think about connecting this to 4 and 5. Is what I think when they gave this whole Laurie died in a car accident thing in this movie. And then also, you see the scissors and stuff from Halloween 5 in there, and some other stuff throughout. Just kind of getting everybody caught up to speed.
Yeah, exactly. And then after all the opening credit stuff happens, we get like a kind of like like a point POV shot of kind of like a classroom, and then we're like understanding, trying to figure out what's going on, and then we realize like later on, and Michael does like a scare or something, and then our character of Jamie Lee Curtis wakes up, but she ain't Laurie Strode technically. Who is she?
She's Carrie fucking Tate, man. Is who
Yeah,
she
man.
is.
Absolutely, she is. If and she wakes up all in the freaking panic and all that, if and that's when John, I'm gonna say it like that, John, because that's how Jamie Lee Curtis says it throughout the entire movie. I was like, come on, man, you could just say John, not John. But John comes in, Josh Hartnett, and just tries to calm her. Says, like, mom, it's okay, it's okay. Here's your happy pills. Freaking take them, and so you don't act crazy around my freaking friends and all that. She's like, yeah, good point. So she calms down, and they're in the kitchen, and then that's when John kind of brings up, like, it's that day, and she goes, what day is that? It's Halloween, and she goes, oh, didn't even notice. Which kind of between us, that's bullshit. Of course she knew.
Yeah, and later it comes up where she's like, "On all fucking days, John," when they're on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like this. It's kind of honestly kind of the same vibes they're going for in 2018. You have your offspring, John here. The father's no longer around. He's kind of a shitbag. He was off on drugs and shit. He's overprotective of her, of
Damn,
John.
Jimmy.
Yeah, right. He's overprotective of John, or she is. She's overprotective.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same relationship, but I actually kind of like this relationship more. I think it's kind of fleshed out a little bit better, especially with this first scene with them.
And I remember us doing one of our second ever Slash It Out between H2O and 2018. We had this discussion.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the OGs, and I did really like their relationship together, and because you had the scene just like this early in the movie to kind of set everything up. Like they still she definitely still loves him. Like, they're somewhat kind of, close, but she is very overprotective of him and whatnot. And now we have Halloween 2 to kind of fall back on too, and the fact that this is Michael Myers' sister still, which is another element to this that kind of makes. So it's actually, this is Josh Hartnett's uncle out there running around. So
Uncle?
Let me see.
Hell no. And then, so we get all that. And then we discover that we're in freaking Summer Glen, California. Why? Why can't we be at like Haddonfield University?
I hate it in California. I do hate that. It does make sense. It does make sense for the character to want to get away as far away as possible. From Michael or from any, because, again, that's her fucking brother. And, she's been paranoid about this for 20 years and she's trying to get away. Michael's been driving this car for so long, which probably hasn't had an oil change since 1989. And now you thought he was doing very well in the night of 1978. And then again in Halloween 6. No, he's doing very well now because he's drove from Illinois all the way out to Northern California to some random ass fucking bathroom. He has no tires left. His car is out there. It's driving on rims, and this lady and her daughter pull up to this base. It's like a rest stop. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
This
the
lady
most random ass rest stop.
This lady and her daughter go in there. They're in there to take a leak or whatever. They have to go to the boys' room because the girls is locked for some reason, and they go in there. There's no fucking toilet paper, which lucky for them, because in a dude's room, let's be real, it's probably gonna be fucking drenched with piss anyway. So
yeah,
it's cool. So they're good. They go do their thing. No toilet paper. Michael comes in, steals her purse, but he doesn't want the money. No, he doesn't want the American Express card per se. He wants the keys to the car.
Idiot.
So he can go out and continue traveling to Summer Glen to find Laurie, aka Carrie. So that was actually kind of a creepy look of Michael in the bathroom when she looks out through the crack.
Yeah, for the crack. No, it was a good tense scene. I will give it credit for that. Again, 2018 did a homage to that bathroom scene for H2O. And yeah, that scene was fine for me easily. But I will say, freaking, I kind of wish we did our skit again. We should have done Michael Myers from his trip from Haddonfield, Illinois to freaking California, like just asking directions and all that.
That would have been a good idea. We'll have to do that one again at some point.
When we do a watch party series, we'll do that.
Fuck yeah, dude. So we go back to Summer Glen. Laura, we find out she's like the head mistress of this fucking school. Like she's like the head bitch in charge. She's got and she's cool. She's definitely badass in this movie. She's got everything in order. She's getting freaky with the guidance counselor. She's like, she's got this kind of secret relationship going on with him.
Freaking
Will. She's doing well. She still has that PTSD, but it's not to the point of 2018 where she's completely like sheltered and like, kind of let it's probably, I don't know which one's more realistic, honestly, but she's definitely, definitely,
I would say both. Like it all just depends on your mindset of what you personally want to do. Like I can see both sides to it.
It totally depends on the person. She's getting as far away as possible, trying to put it in her past, where the other one was like, let's
Hakuna
do this.
Matata.
Yeah, exactly. So she's over there. Now this is cool because we get a cameo from Jamie Lee Curtis's mom in this movie, and she's playing the character of Norma. How cool is that?
Dude, that's just something like a mother-daughter. That the mother always wanted to do that with her daughter, to share that, and just for this particular movie, dude, I thought it was absolutely great. I'll go ahead and quickly reference this because I feel like we ain't going to mention her mom's character again at this point. Again, she's in it very little. The car that she gets in to drive out from the university to get away for the weekend was the original car from 1960 Psycho. It's the exact same one.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool and special moment for them two to be together. Really, like Psycho kind of,
and everybody's entitled to one good scare.
She throws that out too. Yeah, later. There's it's a cool moment because it's the two, it's the daughter and mother being together. One's a scream queen from one generation, she's a scream queen for the next. Psycho set the way for Halloween, and now we're kind of throwing that, and it even plays, man. Yeah, when she drives off in the Psycho car, it even plays that Psycho score, which I thought was beautiful. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing that, and I know that the car scene comes a little bit later, but it's fine. We'll go ahead and
but we just go ahead and throw it out of the way since we were just talking about it, because what happens next is freaking John freaking has a pretty much a hot girlfriend, and I can't remember her name up to this point. Brad just interrupt me if you think of it. It's just John and his girlfriend are talking about like being together for a special occasion. So John and his friend, that's right. Then John and his friend, let's see here, Charlie, freaking sneak out. Talking to our boy Lil Cool J. It's like, hey man, just let us out, man. So because we gotta woo our girls, And Lil Cool J's like, okay, fine, just don't get me in trouble and all that. So they freaking take a ride to town.
You better not get your ass fired.
Yeah, you better not get your ass, man. It's like, what are you talking about out there, balance?
Yeah, they go out to town. Meanwhile, Jamie's going out to town. She's slamming Chardonnay at lunch, and she drives after this. She crushes this bottle, pretty much a full bottle of wine right there at lunch with the guidance counselor. And then she finds John out there, and they have another good moment. This is another reason why I kind of like this relationship better than I do with Karen and the current trilogy. Is because I think I love seeing this. This is when she's like, of all fucking days to pull your fucking bullshit, kind of, crossing, timelines.
A little Ronnie just came out of you just there. If I'm not making a mental note of all your fucking bullshit,
I'm gonna scroll over there. Oh, we'll get to that. Okay. All right.
We're close.
Yeah. So anyways, Lori blows up on him on the side of the street down during the off-campus lunch. Have a little off-campus John lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch John. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was good. She gets in the car. She's driving after slamming this bottle of Chardonnay. It starts playing Mr. Sandman on the radio.
Real quick with that, because something very important happens. John snaps back. He's been so patient with her with like her whole trauma. He just can't take it anymore. So he goes off on his own mother saying, listen, it's not my problem. It is your problem. Michael Myers is dead.
Michael Myers is dead.
Like, and I know it's kind of a corny line of him saying Michael Myers is dead, but he does have a point at that particular time. It's like, Mom, you can't drag me into your own bullshit. That's between you and yourself. Like, I gotta live my life, and I'm going to start doing it.
Yeah, I thought that was a great sequence, man. Minus his fucking hair, but everything else about it was good. And yeah, I thought that was done really well. Yeah, so they get in the car. Mr. Sandman's on the radio. Lori's like, no, I ain't fucking around with that anymore. And then she drives off drunk as a mofo. Not a good sign. Don't do that. She goes back to school, yells at LL Cool J a little bit.
But who follows them?
Michael does.
Yeah.
Now Michael's in this creepy ass Jeepers Creepers truck now. And he does fall. He awkwardly parks outside the gate, right behind them as LL Cool. He's the worst security guard. I love the guy, but he's the worst security guard. This dude's sitting over there, like right behind them, just kind of staring at him while he's having this whole conversation with Lori by the gate. And he pays no attention to him. And then she pulls in, and then he drives off. He's going to come back later. He's going to bide his time. He's going to come back when it's smart. When it's smart to do it, he's going to come back.
9 o'clock.
We can come back about 9 o'clock. But we go back into class and shit. And I like this. This is a really good sequence. There's a lot of parallels in this movie to 78. What I'm being this classroom sequence when Molly's in there and Lori's actually teaching the class. Carrie Tate. And, Molly looks out. She sees, I guess Michael, he's already come back at this point, I guess.
Yeah, he's like behind a door with kind of like a chain window, like a pipe window and all that. Like freaking like Michael's like in an ancient castle or something. But yeah, I do love the scene you're about to talk about.
It was great. It's a parallel to 78. She's looking out the window. She sees Michael. And then she answers Lori's question. Lori's asking something about Frankenstein. And then, it's a good important moment because she, whenever Molly turns to answer it, she talks about how it's, basically Victor had to finally confront his monster, i.e. Frankenstein, and, call it a day, which is essentially what Lori's got to do at this point. She's been putting this guy in her fucking, the back of her mind for 20 years now. And it's time. This is the year that she's going to finally have to face his ass and face her monster head on. And I thought that was kind of cool. That was a good sequence.
Oh yeah, that I think is absolutely great, especially how they use that on in the third act. And then of course that's when Carrie Tate or Laurie Strode kind of feels bad about the whole John thing at lunch, and so she's like, "Okay, John, you can go to the camping trip. Have a good time. Buzz leaves in 40 minutes." And he's like, well, fuck, like this ain't part of the plan. But then that's when he decides to, play a little trick and not get on the bus. So him, Molly, Charlie, and Sarah all freaking just pull a stay in, and then so they could get their woo on and freaking eat cafeteria food while also watching, wait for it, Scream 2.
Which fucks up everything because in Scream 1 they're
yeah.
watching Halloween 78. Now in fucking Halloween 2 they're watching Scream 2. So that's a paradox. That's the definition of a fucking paradox. Here we are, and neither franchise is canon in its own fucking franchise anymore. It's all fucking weird. But it nonetheless a good fucking moment for Scream to make its way into the Halloween franchise after throwing that homage to Halloween. And
every movie at this point of the late 90s was trying to be like Scream, because Scream figured out the perfect simple formula.
Yeah, they did. Halloween H2 wouldn't exist without Scream. Halloween was fucking dead by the time Halloween 6 was around. So
Halloween is dead. No, I'm just
kidding. D-E-A-D. So yeah.
But yeah, we're about to get into some fun stuff now.
We are, man. I liked so Nightfall comes around at this point. Like you said, those kids are hanging and actually more
stories.
He's still talking on the thing. Michael actually creeps in, which I just realized that Molly saw his ass earlier, but he doesn't come into the campus until nighttime right now.
Right.
I don't know what I don't know
It's
what
just like LL Cool J was hearing noises and all that, and apparently Michael opens LL Cool J opens the gate to check out the car. You know, who should have done
yeah,
that like hours ago, and that's how Michael just freaking walks in. Like
yeah, but
he's got the same problem as Dr. Loomis. He doesn't look fucking behind him.
where the fuck was like Molly saw his ass though hours ago there in daytime though, like outside. So I don't know where.
Yeah,
I don't know.
she could just be like, Mrs. Or Tate, there's a guy in the white mask out there.
But if he's just now coming into campus, then how did she see him earlier in the day? Is what I want to know. I that doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe I don't know. That doesn't make sense. That just kind of hit me too, because I never really noticed it in the movie. But either way, nightfall comes. Lori, so this is a good scene actually. It's nighttime. Lori's still on campus, right? There's 2 or 3 scenes leading up to this where she sees Michael. She's looking out the window. Yeah. She sees him in the reflection. When she goes out for lunch, she's looking in the window to the restaurant. She sees Michael behind. She closes her eyes for 10 seconds. He's gone. Poof. It's imagination time. But now she's on campus. She's about to head out. She looks down this little alleyway and she sees Michael walking towards her. And she does the thing. All right, cool. I'm going to close my eyes and, he'll disappear like he always does. And then she closes her eyes. She opens it back. He's still walking towards her ass. What? Mm-hmm. She closes her eyes again, opens. He's still walking towards her ass. What the fuck's going on? This is a very tense and good moment. This is like, are they going to fucking meet for each other? I like this a lot. But you can't see Michael at all. You just kind of see the silhouette. It's dark as a mofo. She tries it one more time, and then fucking guidance counselor boy shows up there. And it's a nice little jump scare. But, they kind of talk, and then, Jamie's like, hey, I'm going to go back to my place. Lori, Jamie, Lori.
You all know.
She's like, I'm going to go back to my place. Meet me there in 10 minutes for some dinner. We'll eat some vodka, and we'll have a good time. But then it cuts to actually Michael.
Okay. Oh, my God.
It's frozen, damn it. You can't freeze vodka.
Jello shots.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. So it cuts back. Michael actually walks off from earlier, from where she was seeing him at. So it's like, oh, Michael's here. That actually was Michael.
That cafeteria food.
That's what he does. That's one of the best fucking shots of the movie, I think.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think that's the second best shot of the movie. But yeah, so Will, excuse me. Will goes to meet Carrie to get their woo on, while also Carrie, aka Laurie Strode, tells Will about the whole paranoia of the whole Michael Myers story and how she is Michael Myers' little sister. And then at the age of 17, and that's when she clicks in her brain, John just turned 17. That's what kind of confuses me too. Like, he turned 17 when all this was happening. So was Michael after John this entire time, or is he after Laurie?
I don't, because they also allude to the fact that Judith was killed when she was 17 in this movie too. So it's like, right. I honestly didn't really like. It's just like, it's one of those. It's just kind of almost like a harmony, within the franchise. All this stuff is harmonizing within itself. It's like, okay, Judith was killed at 17. He tried to kill Laurie when she was 17, and now John's 17. So that's kind of what I guess kind of sparked her interest in saying, well, okay, something weird's going on here. Fuck, damn, shit.
Yeah, cock, balls. But no, there you go, guys. There's a freaking old school reference there for you. But yeah, we get all that. We're back to the kids, and then Charlie's got to go freaking find a corkscrew. So he's
never a good idea.
Yeah, never a good idea by yourself finding a corkscrew, especially when you're calling out for Ted. But he wasn't calling out for Ted. He was just saying, where's the corkscrew? And then freaking your boy Michael Myers goes up right behind him, and he shows him the corkscrew.
Oh, he shows it to him, all right. With a fucking CGI mask. What the fuck? CGI in 98? They're like, first off, dude, what the... Yeah, Chalice is right. What the fuck were they thinking here? This is awful, because there's already 3 other fucking masks in this movie. There's hella mask laying around the studio at this point. Just pick one. Do one. It doesn't matter. If you put the H6 mask on again, like say, okay, for whatever reason, we're done filming with this mask. We burned it. Whatever. Okay, fine. Whatever. It's one scene. Use the Halloween 6 mask. Use the alien mask. It doesn't fucking matter. This shit, a CGI mask? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? A CGI mask they put on this motherfucker.
That's where most of the budget went.
What in the actual fuck? This looks worse than that shark from Jaws 3D. This is bad. I don't know why they did this. I don't know.
Leave Jaws 3D out of this.
Fuck.
But yeah, man, it was not good. But what was good was the kill. Like I thought it was a decent kill. But we're about to get to a very damn good kill, and that's when Sarah freaking goes to try to check up on Charlie, and he's freaking all hang up there, bitch. He can no longer function because he's dead. So there's that. Then we get another shot of Michael.
He was in the dumbwaiter. She gets hung up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. Anyways, Sarah just freaking interacts with Michael, and she tries to go into that freaking little elevator shaft thing, and then that's when the freaking door slams on her damn leg, dude. And oh my gosh, the pain! Like everybody that watched that particular scene felt the pain of that. And then that's when she's freaking all broken up. She can no longer walk. Pretty much like on the same thing of Ronnie, like Ronnie with the arm, but her with the leg. But then Michael catches up to her, and then we get the iconic shot of him with the knife just doing that. And so there's Sarah's a goner.
And a lot of the stuff was cool because Michael was at darkness for a lot of this. I mean, he
Mhm.
wasn't like super dark, but he wasn't in all these scenes are very dark lit, which I really appreciated. And yeah, that leg snapping scene it's one of the coolest kills in the franchise. It's really dope.
Mhm.
And that scene of him at the bottom of the shaft cutting the rope and looking up, like that was cool.
Yeah.
So I like that. All that stuff was pretty good, man. So then John and Molly, they go up there. John Tate finds the blood trail
Mhm.
that Molly has left behind here.
Oh, that Sarah left behind.
I'm sorry, that Sarah left behind. Now, Slippin' Jimmy from Halloween 2 would not have done this. He would have looked right over the blood. He wouldn't have seen it. But John saw the blood, and they follow it. Him and Molly go to this closet, and that's where they see Sarah hanging up. She's all hung up there, bitch. She can no longer touch the ground.
No.
And yeah, they turn the light on. She's hooked up to the light fixture and shit. It's actually a pretty cool sequence there.
It's a great shot. And that's when they encounter Michael and they start freaking running all over the damn place. Actually Michael gets to freaking stab John right in the leg while Molly freaking hits Michael with the rock, and then they get to the door, and then oh my gosh, here we go again. The keys.
It's the same. It harmonizes.
Yeah, and then freaking Michael all of a sudden knew exactly which key freaking belongs there, so he got to freaking open the door. But luckily, freaking Laurie Strode and Will come in to save the day, and then that's when Laurie unlocks it and gets John and Molly to come inside. And as she closes the door, this is where we get my favorite shot and one of the best shots in the entire franchise. After 20 long years, Michael and Laurie are back face to face.
There's a lot of parallels. And this is one that parallels with Halloween 2018 when Michael comes up to the door of her house and they kind of see each other at the door again. And he comes in, he reaches through the door and grab again. It's all harmony here, man. It's great. And he does fumble through the keys for a minute, which gives them a minute and a nice bit of tension there as well. And I like the sequence when he's chasing them through the random ass woods in the middle of campus.
Dude, and he freaking reaches through that bar, with the knife and tries to do the whole slashing thing. I just realized that's fucking Ghostface 101.
Yeah, it is. It is. That was good.
I realized that.
Yeah, that was good. I thought overall throughout that sequence, he was lit pretty well. Like the darkness was good. I just don't like the walk. The walk I'm not a fan of that. But the lighting was good. We see them again. They go back into the campus. Dipshit fucking Brenner blows Ronnie away here in a second. I don't know what the fuck. Fucking Brenner is the guidance counselor dude that's been with Laurie all night.
Yeah, freaking Will shoots Lil Cool J. Freaking shoots first, asks questions later. But you think for a counselor, he would ask questions first and then shoot.
Good shot. I mean, he hit the target, but he was fucking he somehow he got Laurie's gun. I think Laurie should have kept the gun. And he blows this dude away just because he's there, I guess. And we see this silhouette, and you're like, oh fuck, it's Michael. It's like, dude, that's the second no, that's the third mofo people have thought was Michael, and they blew him away anyway. Being fucking Ted Hollister and then Ben Tramer before him. So yeah,
Oh
it's
my
not.
gosh. And yeah, dude, we get that. And then, of course, like, we're going to start connecting shit now because now freaking Michael freaking stabs freaking Will, in the butt. No, I'm just kidding. He freaking stabs him in the back and raises him up, resemblance to Halloween 2 with the nurse. But this time, no shoes were dropping. But this time, freaking Will's body dropped. So his ass is now dead. So now we just get freaking Lori and Michael from here on out.
Yeah, and the kids too are still there for a minute, but
Yeah, but
this
they're
is actually
useless, and that's a
this
problem I had.
this is at the point in the movie where the Michael really starts getting overlit in this
Yeah.
when they're going through these hallways and shit, and they kind of it harmonizes again with 78. Lori puts the kids in one closet, she goes to another closet, kind of deal, and leaves the fake handprint on the closet, the bloody handprint. So Michael
Mhm.
goes there, and then he tries to get into that door, and then she attacks him. But this is where we really see these fucking ginormous fucking eye
Eyes.
holes that in the movie, because this is where like he really gets kind of more lighting on him. Up to this point, it hasn't been horrible. But in the third act, the lighting on his mask is really bad. You see these big ass fucking eye holes. You see, which should be, again, this is connected to Halloween 2, so those eyes shouldn't even be there. His eyes were blown away in 1978. So
And
yeah,
Michael's pretty good at freaking doing lifts, like, because he comes from the freaking balcony like Sting, and it's just like freaking just creates all kinds of freaking sneaking up 101.
I don't know how I don't know how he had his body contorted up there before that. He does the same motherfucking thing in Resurrection too. I don't get it. But yeah, he comes right down there. Yeah, so I don't like that. They play the Halloween music. All this stuff right now at this point, we're getting Scream music through all this, which is really lame. Like Halloween is known for the score and its own kind of identity in the music department, and this is taken directly from Scream. All the music that's playing through here, which is really annoying. And then, but
Yeah, but
okay,
that's
so
when
you're
the kid, yeah, that's when like the kid, like Molly and John and Lori were about to escape. But then that's what we alluded to earlier with the classroom scene. Lori has to freaking face her monster, so that's where she tells Molly to get her and John out of here. So they freaking drive, and that's when Lori breaks the freaking machine to the gate, breaks the freaking axe case. Her with the axe, screaming, "Michael!" That
awesome
was
fucking scene.
badass.
Again, it plays that fucking stupid Halloween theme with the whatever,
I
but
didn't mind
yeah,
it for that particular moment, but I agree with the others.
it's like they got recorders out there. Anyway, but yeah, that was a badass sequence. And she tells them to go to where? The Becker's house to call 911,
Mhm.
which is again another callback to Scream from the Casey Becker
So
of the first movie.
there was freaking a house at the freaking beside the university.
Yeah, somewhere. Which is yeah, they're going to the Beckers. The Michael thing is good. They have a nice Duke session up there, actually. They're it's a good little, back and forth action fight sequence with Jamie Lee, kind of in her prime at this point, fighting
Mhm.
Michael Myers. And I thought it overall it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. To me, the whole third act is to me the strong point of the movie. Except with like Brad said, little lighting issues. I was seeing too much of Michael. They have a Duke section. There's one point Laurie kicks Michael in the balls, and we see the eye pops go, "Mm." And then all that good stuff. And then eventually, Laurie defeats Michael, as so we thought.
Yes, but then LL Cool J stops her ass from actually finishing the job at the scene. So
The worst security guard ever.
he's the worst, but at least he's still alive. We all like LL in this thing. So, but yeah, so he's like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. She's like, no, I'm going to fucking finish. But she goes for it anyway. She steals a cop's gun. She hijacks this fucking van that's got Michael, the morgue van, the Cal van that we see later in Halloween Rob Zombie 2. She said, I'm taking this fucking van. We're leaving. And, she takes the van. They drive off into the sunset. This whole thing kind of plays out. She hits the brakes. Michael flies out the windshield. She runs over Michael, and then fucking where the whole budget actually went was this fucking rolled the van down the hill trick that they did, because he runs
Yeah.
over his ass and they go down this fucking hill.
It's not an explosion, but it's still a car accident. So we are so far in this franchise 7 for 7.
Dude, it definitely does catch on fire, though. I mean, it more or less is an explosion. The thing is
Mhm.
in flames.
We'll count
Uh,
it. It's still set. We're so far 7 for 7. But then that's when Lori freaking wakes up after freaking tumbling down the hill. And then we see freaking Michael pinned between a tree log and the car, which, in my opinion, his ass would have already been squished if this were real life. But this is freaking Michael Myers. He's freaking a man of steel.
and a strong ass fucking tree branch too, man. Let's be real.
Oh, God.
Um,
Yeah, no kidding.
but this is where we set up this great moment where Lori and Michael are one on one. It's just the two of them. They had the nice Duke session before, a lot of knives, kicks, and balls earlier. All that stuff's in the past. Now we have this moment where Lori's got his ass dead to rights. He's squished in there. He actually reaches his hand out to Lori. He's like, "Oh, come on, let's go. You're my fucking sister, and we're here to have a good time. Let's reconvene. Let's think about this for a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of it. I just wanted to hang out and get some fucking tacos together. I wanted margarita night."
The triple deluxe supreme.
It's talking back at me. So then she's like, she kind of reaches her hand out for a minute and then just fucking swings the axe and cuts his head clean off. And that's it. We don't get anything else.
And we get the classic Halloween score.
Exactly. That's the first time in the movie we get that fucking classic 1978 Halloween theme. And it just goes straight to the credits. It's fantastic. We don't see Lori, meet back up with her son, or it just cuts to the credits. And I actually think that ending was fucking beautiful.
Oh, dude, if they would have kept it at that, this movie would possibly go higher for me too. But it's freaking what happened afterwards, which unfortunately we'll discuss next week. I just, man, dude, but yeah, this whole third act and that whole act swing, all of it was just freaking superb.
I loved it, and I won't hold it against this movie specifically because the next movie fucked it up. Yeah, again, they had an idea for this movie, they ran with it, and I actually think it was perfect. I definitely loved the H2 ending probably more for the definitive end of the franchise, just because I thought Dr. Loomis sacrificing himself to kill Michael was also really cool, but if you're going to bring the franchise back to that direction, I think this is the perfect way to end it. And I think that was really awesome. Especially now, I guess since you gave me that brother sister combo, this probably is even the better ending than that. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's pretty much the end of the movie. And before we go to WTF and the kills, I want to just address the issue I kind of was shortening, explaining earlier. But freaking so disappointed with whole John and Molly not being used more for that third act.
Absolutely. And yeah, because John was actually a good character, I thought. And Molly too. I actually really liked Molly.
Yeah, I
I
really
thought
enjoyed Molly.
Yeah, I thought she was really good. And another quick note I needed to mention is, yes, Resurrection comes in here and tries to tell us that this was the paramedic that Lori kills at the end, but no motherfucker on earth would have survived any of that other than Michael Myers. The dude goes flying out the windshield, gets ran over by the car, and crushed at the bottom of the hill in an exploding car. Come on.
No chance. Yeah, no chance in hell on that, man. So that's pretty much that's a nice segue because that was a what the fuck moment all on its own. So Brad, what is your WTF and best kill?
I mean, the WTF moment definitely has to be that fucking CGI mask. Like there's really no other way I can go with it. That's got to be the answer. The best kill, it's Michael at the end of the movie. I think that was, assuming, I thought that was fantastic. That was done really well.
Hell yeah. And I don't blame you for the Michael kill. I personally, on my notes, I didn't put that particular kill just because of what Resurrection gave us. That's the only reason why I did, but I totally understand that. Go ahead and just make this short and sweep. We got the same WTF. It's that freaking CGI mask. What the actual fuck? And then after that, for best kill, to me, it's Sarah's kill with the whole the elevator shaft like squishing her leg, and then Michael with that iconic shot freaking stabbing her.
Yeah, that was really fucking good, and the aftermath of that, her hanging out.
Oh my god, freaking hang out! Man, dude, that was a really damn good visual. And then just man, so Brad, overall thoughts and just a movie rating.
So I actually I don't know. I feel like this movie does a lot of things good. It does a lot of things good. Bringing Lori back into the mix, giving her that PTSD, giving her that family vibes. This is really where 2018 gets a lot of inspiration, I think, for what she's doing in 40 years later. It does a lot of things good with her character and whatnot. But I also feel like this movie was really, when you watch it these days, it feels almost like a cash grab. It feels like they just made it just to make some money. Everything kind of just feels very easy. It's an hour and 25 minutes. I mean, it's just like, oh, let's just make a Halloween movie and bring Jamie Lee back and let's get this thing out of the way. Michael doesn't feel like Michael. There's no atmosphere. It doesn't feel like Halloween at all. There's nothing really about it that actually feels like Halloween outside of, bringing the characters back and that intro. So the new setting, while it does make sense storyline or story wise, like I don't like it. I don't like being in California. It doesn't feel like Halloween. Michael Myers sucks. The mask sucks. All that kind of sucks. So it's right in the middle, man. It's like a 3. It's a 3. I think it's better than some of the movies in the franchise. Being connected to the first 2 definitely helps that a lot, but it could have and should have been better, I think.
Yeah, and it easily should have been better. They did a lot of good things, but it did a lot of bad things. Freaking kind of like what you were alluding to, like it was a cash grab, but more importantly for me, it was something more worse than a cash grab. It was trying to be a complete copycat to the Scream franchise, but you're the freaking Halloween franchise. You pretty much gave birth an idealist, like just the idea of Scream all in general, just because of your franchise, and you gotta go copy Scream. To me, that's just very weak. But H2O is not the worst movie in this franchise. Don't get me wrong, trust me, we will get into something a lot worse next week. But H2O does do some bad things, but also did some good things. So I am going to give it a 2.5 because unfortunately, with every rewatch, it does get lower and lower. So I am trying to limit my rewatches.
That's fair because honestly, this movie usually probably would be about a 2.5 for me. For whatever reason, this last time I watched it, I liked it a little bit more. And this one, as a kid earlier, when it like around the time it came out, I absolutely loved it because Jamie Lee came back. It brought legitimacy back to the franchise, I thought, because she was back in it, LL Cool J, all that stuff. So when it came out, like I was a huge fan of it. Like, yeah, I was like a 1-2 H2O guy all the way. But yeah, man, I really just think they missed what made the first Halloween so great with this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So with your 3 to my 2.5, that's a 2.75. So that is happy hour time with freaking Jack Torrance, man.
Looks as though you might have got a spot of it on yourself there, Jeevesy, old boy.
That doesn't matter, sir. You're the important one.
Hell yeah, dude. That's not too bad. We can live with that.
Yeah, we can freaking live with that. I'm sure Jack Torrance could freaking teach Laurie Strode how to swing an axe too properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man. Absolutely. So, guys, that is freaking Halloween H2O 20 years later. Freaking good discussion. And oh boy, don't we have a discussion for next week, man. We're going to be talking about some Haddonfield Nightmare. Gosh, I wish we did because that would be so freaking badass. But unfortunately, next week we do have to talk about Halloween Resurrection.
You know what, though? The good news is, in my opinion, next week is the last truly bad Halloween movie that we have to talk about.
I absolutely agree. So what's hopefully that week will go by super quickly so we don't have to ever talk about that movie ever again. But I want to ask you guys about freaking H2O. What did you all think about Halloween H2O 20 years later? Did you freaking enjoy this movie? Or do you not really like this movie? Or are you kind of like us? It's kind of like the middle of the road. Not fully good, but not also fully bad. You know what I mean. Just let us know all of that in the comment section down below. And let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can just find us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, TikTok, and Patreon. Those links are for you to find down below.
Absolutely, and be sure to follow all of our amazing YouTubing friends doing this HalloScream Review Series with us and all their H2O videos today. And how can you freaking support us over here at Good Real Hunting? Be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so you all know when the next freaking Halloween review is up and ready.
Absolutely.
Until then, freaking sharpen your knife so you can get that nice shing sound effect, man.
And we'll be getting some basil next week.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to talk about it.